Hello. Your being here right now is enough. You don't need to fix this moment. You don't need to make this night productive. Just being here is enough. This story was written for you to rest, not to understand, certainly not to memorize. If you drift off to sleep at some point, the story has done its job. If you're ready, turn off the lights and focus only on the sound of the video. Now, be aware of your breath, but don't try to change it. Breath is one of the oldest movements in the universe. It existed before stars were born, before humans too. Nothing you do can break it. The slowing of time. Throughout the day, time pushed you. Hours called out to you. Screens made you rush. But now, time doesn't need you. It's returning to its own pace, and you can slow down with it. Ascending to the sky. Now, in your imagination, picture yourself somewhere outside, silent, vast, under the sky. But this isn't a moment of looking. This is a moment of being. The first cosmic awareness. The sky is full, but not crowded. Stars don't mix together, each one in its own place. This order wasn't established by shouting. It happened slowly. The invisible center. Now shift your eyes to a point in the sky that doesn't draw much attention. There, at first glance, is something that doesn't make sense. Not a star, not a planet, but not emptiness either. The soft state of curiosity. The human mind usually wants answers, but tonight, asking the question is enough. What is that thing? You don't have to know the answer, just acknowledging that it's there is enough. Entering the story of light. What comes from that point is the end of a journey, but at the same time, it's the memory of its beginning. Light is a letter written in time, and right now, you're holding it without opening it. The depth of time. When this light set out, Earth was silent. Stories weren't being told yet. The sky hadn't been named yet, but the light didn't mind. The first connection between human and universe. Perhaps the universe didn't wait for anyone to look, but when someone did look, it didn't object. Now, we'll pause this story here for a bit. The light will remain there, the sky won't disappear, and you will have gotten a little closer to rest. The places light passed through. When the light set out, it had no map ahead of it. It didn't know where it would stop or where it would pass through, but it passed through anyway. Through voids, through densities, through places no one ever named. The fact that emptiness is actually not empty. Space, when viewed from afar, appears silent and empty, but close up, everything is in motion. Dust particles spin, particles vibrate. Nothing stays completely still. Light filters through this movement. Time bending along with light. We think of what we call time as a progressing line. It has a beginning, it has an end. But for light, time isn't like that. When light sets out, it doesn't wait for where it will arrive. The journey doesn't stretch out for it, as if the beginning and arrival happen simultaneously. The limit of the human mind. This might be hard to imagine, because the human mind always looks for a next. But the universe doesn't care about next. It's full of things happening at the same time. Small moments of history. As light continued on its way, things were happening on Earth. Ice retreated, forests grew, seas changed shape, and then at some point, humans appeared. the first gaze. When someone looked at the sky for the first time, they didn't know what they saw, but they felt something. Wonder, not fear. Admiration. The sky wasn't like something standing above. It was like something to enter into. Those who looked at the same sky. Centuries passed. There were people who looked at the same sky, with different languages, with different names, but with the same silence. They saw that blurry point and moved on. The light reached them too. The solitude shared with the universe. Perhaps this is why when people feel lonely, they look at the sky. Because there is no judgment, there is no rush, there is only existence. The deep well of time. Light continued traveling throughout the time humans were born and died. Empires were built, they fell, but the light didn't stop for any of them. The memory of the universe. Each photon carries traces of the places it passed through, of dust, of gravity, of time. This is why light doesn't just illuminate, it remembers. Humanity's small but real place. Humans aren't the center of the universe, but they're not outside the universe either. They're in the flow, and this is enough. Silent vastness. The vastness of the universe doesn't have to crush humans. Sometimes it comforts, because it reminds us that not everything is our responsibility. A slow look toward the future. Light is still continuing on its way, not just those that come to us. There are also those leaving us. Signals departing from Earth, radio waves. Perhaps someday they'll reach somewhere. A gentle transition to the cosmic scale. When thinking about the universe, the human mind usually clings to numbers, to distances, to years, to the speed of light. But tonight, we can set the numbers aside, because the universe is understood not through numbers, but through silence. The true meaning of silence. We say space is silent, but not because there is no sound. It's because there's no one to share it with. There are vibrations, there is movement, but there are no ears to listen to them. Light, as it passes through this silence, asks for nothing. Vastness, not crushing. Sometimes the vastness of the universe frightens people, but this fear doesn't come from the vastness, it comes from the effort to assign meaning. The universe doesn't need to do anything to you. It doesn't need to notice you. Your being there is already enough. The long breath of time. The universe breathes, but this breath isn't measured in seconds. Stars are born and remain there for millions of years. They don't rush. This is why looking at them calms a person. Humanity's relationship with time. Humans carry time, with memories, with plans, with worries. But the universe lets go of time. What happens, happens. What doesn't happen, doesn't. And there is no tension between the two. Looking at the sky again. Now look at the sky again, but this time not to search for something, just to see that it's there. That blurry point is still there. It hasn't changed. Whether you looked or not didn't affect it. The feeling of permanence. Some things exist while you sleep. The sky is one of them. This thought comforts a person because not everything is in your control. Gradually deepening. At this point, the story wants to slow you down even more. Sentences are getting longer, spaces are increasing, because nothing that rushes lasts long. Cosmic repetition. Light is still coming. Light is still on its way. Light doesn't stop. And this repetition isn't to teach something, it's to comfort.
humanity's entrance onto the stage. The universe was already there. Stars were burning, galaxies were spinning, light had set out on its journey. And then, in a very small moment, humans appeared. Quietly, without a grand announcement. The universe didn't stop to look, but it allowed it. The first eyes. When the first humans looked at the sky, they didn't know what they saw there, but they felt something, an order, a distance, an unknown. And this unknown created curiosity more than fear. The same sky, different lives. For thousands of years, there were different people looking at the same sky. They spoke in different languages, they gave different names, but what they looked at was the same. That pale light, that distant blur. The effect of time on humans. Humans count time, days, years, generations. They are born, they live, they disappear. But the sky takes note of none of this. And this is not cruelty, this is continuity. Humanity's need to tell stories. Humans turn what they don't know into stories, because stories make uncertainty bearable. The sky, for this reason, filled with gods, with legends, with signs. But light didn't care about stories. It continued on its way. A repeating pattern. Humans came, humans went. Cities were built, they fell. But every night, the sky was there again. This repetition, after a point, comforts a person. Solitude and companionship. When humans feel lonely, they often look up, because the sky doesn't answer, but it seems to listen. It doesn't judge, it doesn't correct, it just stays there. The witnessing of light. Light witnessed all of humanity, from the first fire to the first city, from the first war to the first peace. But it chose none of them. It simply passed through. Small but real. Humans may be small in the universe, but they are a real thing, a thought, an awareness, a brief but meaningful wave that emerged within the universe. Light does not forget. Light does not forget, because light takes a trace from everywhere it passes. It reflects off a surface, it strikes a dust particle, it filters through a void, and continues on its way. A witness outside of time. We live time. Light carries time. When it leaves a star, there is a moment there, but when it reaches us, that moment has already passed, and yet it is real. The memory of the universe. If the universe has a memory, this memory is written not with words, but with light. Wars, births, explosions, all of them are hidden within light. You and light. Right now, as you listen to this sound, your eyes may be closed, your room may be dark, but still, light is with you. Because your body is a result of light. Matter from the stars. Every heavy element in your body was born in a star. Iron, calcium, carbon. Once it was inside a star, then it spread, it gathered, and became you. This is not a coincidence. This is not chance. This is a repeating order. The universe produced something from within itself that can observe itself. The silent message of light. Light does not speak, but it seems to say, I'm here, I passed through, I continue. Deepening silence. Now, let go of this thought. Let your mind slow down. Let your breath lengthen. Light doesn't rush, neither should we. The rhythm of the sky. The sky is not fast. Even when stars explode, this explosion is the result of millions of years. Everything happens slowly. Light continues to remember.
But we will now move on to something else, something that is both very vast and very silent. Emptiness is not what you think. Emptiness is not actually empty. It's just silent. There is no sound inside it, but there is movement, vibrations, fields, fluctuations. Humans don't like emptiness. Humans feel uncomfortable with emptiness. They search for something in silence. They want a boundary in darkness. Because humans feel comfortable with things they can control. Emptiness cannot be controlled. Most of the universe is emptiness. If we think of the universe as a room, the furniture inside it is very sparse. Stars, planets, galaxies, all of them are floating in emptiness. Time in emptiness. In emptiness, time feels different. There are no clocks, no calendars. There is only movement. And this movement appears almost motionless on a human scale. Notice your breath. Now, pay attention to your breath, like emptiness, coming in, going out, silent, slow. The universe breathes like this too. The silence between galaxies. The path from one galaxy to another is almost complete silence. Even light is alone there for a long time. But loneliness doesn't have to be frightening. What emptiness teaches? Emptiness teaches this. You don't have to be full every moment. Every thought doesn't have to be completed. Every silence doesn't have to be filled. Getting lost in emptiness is actually being found, because when there's no direction left, there's no expectation either. The soft face of the universe. The universe is not harsh, it's just vast, and vastness doesn't tire a person. On the contrary, it comforts. Time doesn't move forward. Time happens. We pass through it. It doesn't pass through us. Humans narrow time. Humans like to divide time, minutes, hours, calendars, because measuring gives a sense of control. But the universe doesn't want to be measured. There is no rush in the universe. The birth of a star takes millions of years. The formation of a galaxy, billions of years. In the universe's language, there is no word for immediately. Feel the present moment. Right now, there is no past, no future. There is only this moment. Your breath, your heartbeat, this sound. Time and sleep. Sleep is the dissolution of time perception. The mind no longer tracks next, and right at this point, rest begins. Why does time feel like it's slowing down? Because attention decreases, and when attention decreases, time expands. The universe is like this too. Cosmic clocks. For a galaxy, 1,000 years is nothing. For a black hole, time almost stops. Time changes shape depending on where you stand. You and cosmic time. Right now, you're on a planet spinning at the edge of a galaxy, and this planet is spinning constantly, but at a very gentle speed. A feeling of trust. This knowledge whispers to the viewer, everything is at the speed it should be, and this sentence releases the mind. Let go of time's weight. Now, there's nothing you need to do, nothing you need to remember. Time is flowing in your place. The universe is patient. The universe waits because it doesn't rush, and you too can wait right now.
Is there loneliness in the universe? At first glance, yes, because the gaps are too vast, the distances too long, the silence too deep. But this is not loneliness. This is a connection mixed with emptiness. Humans fear loneliness because humans feel safe with closeness, a sound, a breath, a presence. But the universe doesn't measure closeness with distance. Galaxies are not alone. Every galaxy is connected to other galaxies with invisible threads, with gravity, with time. Connections are not always visible. Where are you right now? In a room? In a bed? Perhaps in darkness. But actually, you're inside something much larger. A galaxy, an order, a story. Where does the feeling of loneliness come from? Loneliness is a feeling of disconnection, but disconnection is not real because nothing in the universe is completely disconnected. Even atoms are connected. The atoms in your body came from other stars, from other times, from other explosions, and now they are together. This is not a coincidence. The universe doesn't scatter randomly. It knows how to come together. You are part of this too. Loneliness and sleep. Before sleep, loneliness is felt more because the mind slows down, noise decreases. But this moment is also when connection is felt. Silent connections. Right now, there may be thousands of people listening to the sound in different cities, in different countries, but at the same time, in the same rhythm. This too is a connection. The softest truth of the universe. You are not alone. You don't have to know this. You don't have to prove it. Just feeling it is enough. The easiest way to connect? To do nothing. Just to be there. The universe does this too. Loneliness is an illusion. Connection is always there. Now we're going even deeper, because next comes the oldest thing. Why is darkness thought to be frightening? Because darkness is the unknown. Humans fill what they don't know, and most of the time, they fill that void with fear. But in the universe, darkness is not evil. Darkness is most of the universe. Everything you see when you look at the universe is a very small part. Stars, galaxies, light, all of them are within darkness, and darkness gives them space. Without darkness, there would be no light. Light becomes visible because of darkness. A star shines only in darkness. This is why darkness is not the opposite, it's the foundation. Night and trust. During the day, humans see everything, but at night, they begin to feel. Sounds decrease, visual stimuli disappear, and the body relaxes. What does the mind do in darkness? The mind slows down. It doesn't search for details. It doesn't scan for danger. This is why sleep comes in darkness. The universe works in darkness. Stars are born inside dark clouds. Galaxies are shaped with dark matter. So the universe's greatest work happens in darkness. The language of darkness. Darkness doesn't shout. Darkness doesn't rush. Darkness says, I'm here. There is time. You are safe. Now, think of this room. Lights off. Sounds few. Objects may not be visible, but they're all still there. Darkness is not nothingness. Getting lost in darkness. Getting lost in darkness is letting go of control.
and letting go of control is rest. The universe doesn't force you. The universe doesn't say speed up. It doesn't say do more. It just allows you to be. The relationship between darkness and trust. Babies sleep in darkness because darkness is when the world stops. Cosmic night. Right now, Earth is turning to night. Somewhere it's morning, somewhere it's midnight, but in space it's always dark, and this is not disturbing. The dissolving of thoughts in darkness. The sentences in your mind don't have to be completed. They can remain unfinished. The universe is comfortable with unfinished things. Gradually go deeper. Now, you don't need to follow these sentences. The sound, just let it flow. Connection in darkness. In this darkness, you're not alone. The same darkness is in other rooms, in other countries. This too is a connection. Darkness is not an ending, it's a passage. Darkness is not an ending.
There's nothing left you need to hold on to. At this point, you don't have to follow the story. Sentences can be missed. Thoughts can remain unfinished. None of it matters, because now there's nothing to hold on to. What does letting go mean? Letting go is not giving up. Letting go is not carrying. It's the mind slowly placing down the small weights it carried throughout the day. The universe doesn't carry. The universe carries no burden. A star doesn't strive to shine. A planet doesn't decide to spin. Everything just happens. Now you too can just be. Right now, you're not doing anything, and this is right. Your breath is happening. Your heart is happening. You are happening. The dissolving of the mind. Thoughts are like a ball of yarn. The more you pull, the tighter it gets. But when you let go, it loosens on its own. Tonight, we're not pulling. Time is no longer important. You don't need to know how many minutes have passed. What time it is doesn't matter, because sleep is where time doesn't exist. The softest point of the universe. The universe has no center, but it has a silence, and that silence is here right now. The sound fading to the background. This sound no longer needs to stand out. Like a river, it can flow. You don't need to listen to something to rest. A feeling of trust. Right now, you are safe. We don't have to prove this sentence. The universe doesn't ask for proof. Thoughts being released. What happened today, what will happen tomorrow, all of it can remain suspended for now. The universe knows how to remain suspended. Deep breaths. Breath longer. Space more comfortable. Mind quieter. Approaching sleep. Sleep is not a door. It's not a fall either. Sleep is a gentle slide, and you are already sliding. The universe staying with you. While you sleep, the universe doesn't stop, but it doesn't wait for you either. It continues to flow in your place, and this is comforting. Let go. Let go a little more. Let go even more. The mind's last sentences. Maybe you're not fully hearing these sentences. That too is okay. The story can now speak in your place. Surrendering to sleep. Eyelids heavy, body comfortable. Mind no longer resists. The universe's final whisper. The universe whispers, no rush.
Everything is in its place. You can rest.
We're not telling anything anymore. From this point on, we're not telling a story. We're just staying there. Sentences don't have to carry meaning. Let the spaces speak. The universe loves spaces. Don't complete anything. If a thought remained unfinished, let it stay. If a sentence didn't end, let it not end. The universe is comfortable with unfinished things. The melting of time. You don't know how many minutes have passed. And this is good, because sleep is the dissolving of time. Breathe in. Wait. Breathe out. Wait. This rhythm is enough. The universe continues in your place. While you sleep, galaxies spin. Stars burn. Light travels. None of it disturbs you. You're here. You're safe. No rush. The sound retreats. This sound is no longer in the foreground, like a breeze, like a distant wave. Staying in darkness. If your eyes are closed, don't open them. If they're open, you don't have to close them. Darkness is enough as it is. The rhythm of the universe. Slow, very slow, unchanging. The scattering of thoughts. A thought came, let it go. Another came, let it go. Don't hold on. Repeating sentences. No rush. Everything is in place. You can rest. Wait. The universe carrying the night. The night is not your responsibility. The universe carries the night. A feeling of infinity. The story hasn't ended, but now it's resting. The final whisper. Everything, just as it is good. The universe never sleeps, but it doesn't rush either. Somewhere stars are burning, while elsewhere they're fading. Somewhere planets are spinning, while elsewhere there's only silence. And all of this happens at once. Night, for humans, is a state of stopping. But for the universe, it's just another rhythm. Slower, quieter. Right now, Earth is spinning on its axis. You don't feel it, but it's happening. Just like your breath. The universe is on the night shift. And in your place, it carries everything. The universe repeats. Day becomes night. Night becomes day. Stars are born. Stars fade. And this repetition is not boring. Repetition creates trust, because knowing what will happen relaxes the mind. You breathe in, you breathe out. Again, again. And this cycle keeps you alive. The universe works this way too. And this is why looking at it calms a person. Right now, you don't need to think about anything. If a thought comes, don't push it away, but don't hold on to it either. Thoughts are like clouds. The sky doesn't carry them. It just allows them to pass. The mind can be a sky too, empty, open, vast. And this state is right before sleep. Night changes sounds. Close ones move away. Distant ones soften. This sound is no longer a narration. It's like a presence, there, but not demanding. You don't have to listen. The sound can flow on its own, just like a train passing in the distance. You know it's there, but you don't go into details. At this point, the story doesn't close. It just withdraws. Sentences become sparse. Spaces lengthen. If you're still awake, that's fine too. If you've fallen asleep, the story has done its job. The universe doesn't rush. Neither does this video. Everything, just as it is in its place.